Good day, traders. Welcome back. And yeah, it's been a while for me to be on the air to trade live, and I thought maybe today's a good day to do just that. Let me know in the chat if the sound is fine. Everybody can hear me perfectly. Just throw a thumbs up or anything to that extent. Let me know. Right, good. Okay, what I'm gonna do. I'm going to literally start off the way I see the market on a daily basis. As you guys can see, I have the 4-hour chart up on view, and I want to explain a few things there. I do think we might trade lower into those equal lows in that fair value gap, which is this one right here. And the reason I'm saying that, we've got equal highs up here, but if you look very closely at the 4-hour, you'll see we've been consolidating, manipulating, push higher, consolidating, a little bit of a manipulation, push higher, consolidating, nice manipulation down into the 50% of this wick, and then we've got this big expansions out there. Then you see another consolidation at the all-time highs. Normally what you would expect is manipulation down and then expansion, but we've been doing it for a while now, so it makes sense. After yesterday's push down, that's expansion up there and another expansion down. That tells me inverting this bigger fair value gap, we might want to leave that right there today, and we might want to go lower today. I don't think if we're gonna, and I don't know if we're gonna go all the way down to these equal lows, and the reason being is there's no news today, but all we can do today is watch. So my bias for today is to target these lows here, and I'm going to jump to the lower time frame to see what we have. A market just opened now. I want to just add 2 indicators on this chart for me, because I want to go down to the 1 minute, and I'll show you. I mean, this was a perfect short. You guys can see these equal highs right here. It's fairly equal. Manipulation up, so it's consolidation, manipulation, push away, and then this purple section here. Just want to see. Sorry, I just want to get my paper trade account up here that I'm using. I want to put an order in there. Why do I put an order in there? Well, guys, I just showed you where I think the market's going. That's one. Second, this is the first 1 minute fair value gap that presents itself. Normally what you would see here is a test in there to go lower. And we've run some highs up here. So there was a liquidity run up here, a shift away, so we could expect price to come back up into this 50%. So I could actually put my limit up here. What I then would target is probably a standard deviation of that 50% to come down into that. So I'm just going to leave that as is. Take this off. I mean, we can go into nitty-gritty just now. Nice test of that 50% there. Let's see if it's going to pick me up here. Gosh. Okay. Just missed that. Okay, I want to jump over to another view quickly. Take this off. Now you guys can see that. This is another view I use to obviously take some good 20-point trades, and we just missed this one because it was after this push there. That was the 20-point trade. There you can see it was 30 odd points, and this is got a very, very high success rate when you take this trade. And the only thing I'm looking at, if you look at this 50% here, these three lines all crosses through that 50% in one go, and the blue line here is closing below or going through in a straight line through that yellow block, and that is something I can explain a bit later. But for this, that was a nice short there. I missed that one, so it's not the end of the world, and we will just sit around and wait for the next opportunity. The biggest problem now is we missed this entry, and why I thought we're gonna get this entry is 50% of that swing was on top here, so I wanted to get a pretty decent short up here, and we might still get it, guys. This could be the liquidity we want to pull back into to run first before we drop further. So I'm not going to be too stressed about it. Sometimes you just have to sit tight. And on the first entry was up here, and we didn't get it. So one thing you should know as a trader, there's going to be multiple entries in a day, so it's not just one. But my biggest aim is to look for that one super entry, and yeah, if I can get that, I'm more than happy to take my profits and walk away. Alright, so you guys see I don't have a stop loss here. What I will do is, once because I don't know how far we're going to run this, let's try to, and I don't want to predict the market. I mean, you could put your stop above this fair value gap candles high, but I want to see if I can get tagged in first. Let's just wait and see. Don't expect too much today, guys. There's no news. Might wait for tomorrow for some news. I don't know. Right, so let's see. See if we're going to get it. Liquidity is sitting above this high in this first fair value gap. If we obviously break and close above it, test it, then we might see price going higher here. Let's just mark this as liquidity. That's between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. That's liquidity that was run. That was the shift, and now we want to see if we can get the test. Right, let's keep an eye on this. Okay. Let's just go. I just want to look at the 5 minutes here. Yep, it's a nice big fair value gap up here in the 5 minutes, and then we would probably target these lows here. So I can actually bring it down to, let's make it 3,000. Okay. I like to jump between the time frames. I want to see something here. All right, so you guys can see the under 1 hour price, that 50% there's this range, this push down here. That's why I'm taking this range. It's in a premium area above the 50%. That's where the shorts was good, and this low here is the target. Then, gosh, there's more sell side liquidity, and let me put it on this line. There's more liquidity down here all the way to these equal lows. That's what I'm after. But I'm also not in the game of just doing home runs, so we'll see how price develops through the morning. Okay, that just gave you guys a good indication where I'm at. What's happening now is we get this nice push. Now we see consolidation. This high here, that's where I want to see manipulation to trap longs, and then shift away lower down. Okay, now we just sit and we wait. Patience, 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 patience. That's the name of the game. Wow, that's a big push down. So what's happening now is people are taking shorts down here and putting their stops right up here. So I'm saying, all right, I don't want to get short down here. I want to get short up here. That's why you see all these nice wicks. That's when people say, oh, it's refusing to go higher. We're going low, they're short, and then it goes up and they're like, oh, crap. Then it comes short, move short again, and everybody's like, oh yeah, I'm on the right side. And go up again, and everybody starts stressing, and then it rejects, and everybody's like, this is it, let's add more shorts. So I will not be surprised if we will see a nice aggressive candle up in here, where everybody panics and gets stopped out, and then drop. So let's do that 50%. Let's keep it there. So I think we'll see price. Okay. Now we're doing the waiting game. Right, so everybody or anybody who's trading the first 15 ORBs, see how 50% of this lines up 100% with the 50% of the ORB, I think. Let's see. No, it's not 100%, sorry, my apologies. It's on the top end, so we could see price go all the way up here. So do we not? Now let's just leave it there. We might go in a little bit of drawdown and then come down, or I can be completely wrong and price just runs higher or runs away. But either way, I'm not chasing it. I'm just going to chill around and wait for the opportunity. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Right, so okay, let's see. Someone say moved mine to 50%. Oh, your entry. I mean, nothing wrong with that. So let's look at this. Let's just understand this. Remember, we've run liquidity. My bias is to go lower because of the reasons I stated earlier. Now, this is the first 15 minutes, and most ORB or opening range, 15-minute range breakout traders, they taking the short here. And yeah, let's see. Remember, this is also designed to trap people, that you could get the direction right, but you know, you could get stop out first. Creating a nice liquidity, lower highs here. I mean, we could see price go lower, and but at some point I do think this is where we want to go. But we can also see price just drop from here. And then what does that mean? That means we missed the trade, and it is what it is. So the system I use, for those who don't know, and the first entry was here, and this is a 17-point stop. There's a 20 point there, and then you take 20 points, and as you can see, this thing is already on 60 points from that. So but the aim is to take your first 20 points. That 20 points would have been done in 2 minutes, and guess what, I'll walk away and go on with my life, and there's no need for you to sit around and try to take 100 of those trades, because that's how you set yourself up for failure, and that's when you start seeing stuff that's not there. But what I will do going forward, just to show you guys what I'm talking about, and sorry, let me get this right. This is the system I'm talking about, the system where certain lines here all need to line up. So most people might look at this and say, yeah, Neil, but it's indicators. Don't like to trade indicators, which is fine if you don't want to. I'm not an indicator trader, but I've been testing this for a very long time, and I can tell you guys, this is, I mean, if you need something that's very mechanical, where you don't understand price action that well, and you just want to follow it, I mean, this is it. This is the thing that's gonna you know, put money in your bank. And what I'm talking about, you'll see there's three lines down here. There's no point when lines, all 3 lines is all over the place. You want to wait for the lines to go into sync in one line, like we've got here, that breaks or shoots through that 50% together like that. And as you can see, this is what happened here. All you do then is you take your short with a 20-point stop and a 20-point take profit. And if you see price is actually running further than expected, you can just extend it to 30, 40, 50, 60 points. The bottom indicator is a similar thing. That blue line needs to cross the bottom end of that yellow block. In a straight line where everything lines up, that's going to make it very, very high probability as well. But the top one on its own is, 75, 80% accurate. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it happens at least once a day during the New York session, and that's where you want to just follow it. So there's 3 different setups here, 3 different strategies. I can't talk through all 3 right now because that's a session on its own. So let's go back and see what market is doing. I mean, we can see what the market is doing, but let's just have a look here. Let's just go back here. Right, so as you can see, that's the first standard deviation from this 50% of the ORB. That's also a good trade. Obviously here people were right, so good for them. My aim is not to just jump in the worst possible place. I mean, we push down, we consolidate on the bottom end and then dropped again. That's not the best place to jump in. We want to see price come into a deep premium for you to actually take a trade into the direction that you want to go to. All right, let's go back to the 4 hour quick, because 4 hours key here. And let's hide all the drawings. Don't, never mind all of this. If you take this push down from the high, those drawings might come back, yeah. Okay. So you can see where the entry formed right at the 50% was here. It's in a fair value gap. It's inverted this fair value gap. So this is A plus. It's at the high, so it's not coming from another fair value gap. So you just have to bear with me. This candle here is engulfing these 2 white candles here out of a bearish move. If it closes like this in the next 5 minutes, I would look at the new 4 hour to give us some sort of a pull back into this range and then sell off further. And where can we see we want to sell off? There's a low here, there's a low here, and then we've got our equal lows, fair value gaps down here. So that's what we're aiming, that's why we're going there, and that's just my analysis for the day and why I'm taking these trades. That 4 hours high is up here, so we could very possibly in the next 5 minutes, the macro is running now, to run in here and then see a drop, a nice drop, and that will give you the opportunity to really get a tight entry with a tight stop and a good reward. And all I'm doing at this point, I am patient. Patient. If we don't get up there, that's fine, I'll look for something else. But I will not randomly jump in and take a short here. That's the one thing I will never do. I used to do it, I got burnt, and now I'm not doing it anymore. Alright, let's see what is happening. Let's just, maybe let me know in the chat if there's anything specific you're looking at or looking for or targets, and maybe what I should do, just while we're here, let's give these, what is this, boom, 24586 target let's do this. Sorry, let's just go back to this 4 hour. First target is gonna be 24,750. 24,750. Target 2 is probably 24,654. 24,654 was it? Was it 654? Okay, target 3. That is going to be 24,587. 24,587. All right, those are the three targets I'm targeting. So now it's just a matter of time for us to see if we're going to get picked up and then get taken to the place we want to. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, that's okay, let's give it some room here. Oh gosh. Okay. Let me see. Okay, I am looking for a sell. I don't know if the sell is going to present itself now or if we're going to go up there. It's 1 minute. Then the new candle will form. And then all we want to see is if we want to go all the way up there before we come down. Okay, if we close down here, or we're going up. All right, let's give it some room. Yeah, 816 is a level we just need to see, because we can see all of these small candles. That's more like a pullback type of thing, and all you need now is like a shift away here, then this is the liquidity that will stay there, and we might see a push lower before we want to go up there. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen here. Remember, price don't have to go anywhere. Sometimes it leaves liquidity for later. This could, if this want to drop now, it can, and come back later in the PM session. So just keep that in mind. Okay, let's see if we want to take this low out. Great if we can see that push down here. See if that's something we can get in on. Okay, let's see if we can get 1,000 out of this. I mean, price could go higher here, but I do think because the fair value gap here with these high run in it, and we might want to see a target on this low. Okay, well, that didn't play out. Close this one. Maybe we want to go higher first. Okay, let's try it. Guys, this is a paper trade account, so don't be fooled by anything here. Okay, so what do we see is forming here, guys? Let's put something here. Could be the IFVG. So let's give it time and see if this fair value gap wants to send price lower. Because now you can see there's a high, there's manipulation. Now you want to see expansion lower. Let's close this one. Okay, let's see if we are right with this one. If this is the IFEG, that's going to send price lower. Boom, 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 even to this low here. I mean, we can, this is IFEG, so we can sell it. And we can set it, take profit. And we can wait and see. I mean, this is normal to test it. And then you want to see price go to your target. Oh gosh, in that little fair value gap up there, I want to see price come down. And I mean, we should have closed below this up candle's body for that high to be protected. So all I'm going to do now is mark that out. I want to see this come down and close below that line. Then I know this high is in. But if we close above here, I'll most probably just collapse the trade, because then we inverting this and could just, you know, start screwing around further. Okay, come on. And this is all liquidity. Closing below this IFEG, it's not a bad sign. But I need this to close below here. And you can see this high took this swing high out here. What I deem as a swing high is 3 candles, a middle high, and 2 candles on either sides that's lower highs than that one. That's our high swing high there. That's liquidity. It was taken and shifted away. So this gives me some sort of indication that we might see. I mean, I don't like how slowly we get going there, but let's see if we can get down there. Go on. No. And there's a swing low here. So I don't want price to bounce here to go higher. I want this to close below here to give me reason to go lower here. Then I know this will be violated. Then this high is the new protected low. Protected high, sorry. But if we're not doing that like this, I mean, that's not a good sign. That looks like we want to go higher again. Let's see. Okay, go. Don't spike or pin here. I want you to go and form a body down there. Don't like this. Don't like it. Come on, go down. Sell it off. I know you want to. Push, 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 push. Come on. Gosh. It's one of those days. See how price is struggling to close below this body. Because that would be the sign to go lower. And this is telling me we most probably just want to go do some other business up there first. I mean, we are retesting this IFEG, and this was the fair value gap. Oh. Hopefully this is a solid line in the sand to hold price. Let's see. Look, if we close above there, I'll just close the trade because then it's no good to hold on to a bad trade. But if we close above that, we might just spike out this high and then stop me out anyways. Right, so that one's done. Now we just have to sit and wait and see. Maybe this is now the liquidity it wants to go for. And I'm going to take this away because this is really not the best thing. Okay, let's see. Just be patient here. It's amazing how price around liquidity come down and now it's just screwing sideways. Like I said earlier, didn't expect much from today, and above this high is 50%. That's deep premium to go up in it at 61 now. So yeah, we might just get in there and leave maybe equal highs in this fair value gap. So let's see. And maybe we just go sideways again today, and maybe this liquidity lower down is left for tomorrow. Okay, let's see. Right. Let's see. Can we get there? I mean, if you really think about it, it's probably going to be one of those days where I had my entry up here. I tried 2. I got stopped out, right? Where this one is most probably going to work out, and I'm going to sit back and say, why didn't I just leave it there? But if I had my entry here at the bottom of the fair value gap, I would have had a nice profit here, and I was done for the day. But as you remember, I pushed it out higher. But I mean, this is again that first fair value gap, nice resistance. We were bearish into that standard deviation, that target, which is great, perfect to the point, to the tick. And now this is a pullback, which we could see come right to this 50% to leave equal highs, or go through it and then sell off. But also remember, there's no news, so might be a bit thin today. Alright, so like I said, guys, we didn't close below this body. As you can see, we held above that, which was great. Indication and reading price as to why we're not going lower. Okay, so let's see. So we've got these equal highs here. Equal highs. We've got this liquidity here. And we've got this right here. Price should go to, I mean, most probably going to run these equal highs and print new equal highs to go lower. But we need to sit back and wait and see, and not just take it. I'm just trying to, I never take a trade like this to predict what's going to happen. But it's always good to train your eyes to say, all right, let's see if price, these are the liquidities, this is what we think it should do. If it does that, then I want to do X. And that's how you get better at, at your trading. So. Alrighty, let's see. Okay, there's some guys who got it handed to them in those 2 trades. Like I said in the beginning, guys, this is not financial advice of any sort. So there's some equal highs here as well. We can mark that out. So just be careful with these trades. Always good to keep it on paper trade, keep your risk low, and I mean, you don't have to risk a lot to make a lot. You can risk low and it will accumulate quite quickly. So just so you're all on the same page there. Might see price go for some of these liquidity pools. Or like we said, just let's see. Okay, let's have a look at something here. Let's do this quick. I'll show you guys on a 5 minute. Good example here, liquidity, expansion, consolidation, and yeah, it would be good to run some of these liquidity before it wants to go lower. And then I think we could get a nice push down. What I normally do is I would not take so many trades that I did on this paper trade. I'm only taking these trades to you know, just to show you how it looks like. You know, if you take these entries with stops and all of that. I don't know, for some reason it makes sense for people if you take a trade, but I mean, if you're stuck in a range like this and it goes nowhere and you get frustrated, then it's best to walk away, come back PM and see if anything developed, or come back later. And want to show you, let me show you guys this. Let's do this. All right. In this system, you can see there was one entry there to take a short, which was this up here. And I mean, this is just not going anywhere. See how all these lines are all over the place? I mean, this looked like a possible short here, but just looking at this up here, not all three is coming together to cross that 50%. And you need to keep in mind the red and the green moving average that I use here. I mean, let's go back, show you guys. Let's see if you guys can see this. Don't mind the time, I'm on a different time zone. This, yeah, all three lines together through the 50%. It's that candle there. I mean, that gave you 17, 19, 20. That's where you would get your 20 points. Drawdown was 0, and I mean, 20-point stop was going to be down here. But that's what I'm after, and this was earlier today, so it plays out. I'm using the bottom part as well to get a clear direction. I mean, if all three of these screens are all in the same direction, I mean, it's high probability to go somewhere. But I will make a separate video to explain these lines that you guys can capitalize on. And what I will do then is I will start a live stream daily, not where I'm going to talk, but we'll have this on live, where you can tune in whenever and follow it and see where the entries are. If you want to take it, you're more than welcome to. If you just want to test it, it's also good to paper trade it and see if it's actually good or not. Alrighty, let's see what's happening. I mean, this is a bit conflicted here. We're going down to 50% here, but the blue line is still in the middle section, meaning consolidation. Yes, we are in consolidation. This red dotted line is below, so in theory, if this crosses up, we want to see price go higher. And if we want to see price come down, this dotted line should be above the 50, or this yellow block going lower. So none of these are, you know, talking together right now. And let me give you an example of what it looks like. Here's example, dotted lines above, blue line is breaking below. And if you just look at that on its own, don't look at this top one here, just on this on its own. That's the entry, the red, green, below the 50. I mean, that's already a 23, so that's your 20. I mean, for 5 pips, 20, that's a 5 to 1. So definitely is something you need to consider. This is not my ultimate system. This is a mechanical way. I've been dealing with a lot of people where people are looking for something very mechanical. To get the clock ticking or the wallet ticking or whatever to, you know, for those dollar amounts to tick over. And this is like a bread and butter type of thing. Sure, I'm going to look at some bigger trades where you can capitalize on. But if you just a guy who don't care, I just want something simple. This is very simple. And yeah, like I said, I'll make a video explaining this, but this is something I'll always have there. This was a good short here. Unfortunately, didn't take it. And, you know, the lines down here definitely showed, listen, guys, this is really not the best to trade. Alrighty. One thing I can tell you guys, I mean, these lines up here, as you can see, that's a 50 moving average, that's a 22, that's a 11. For the settings down here on these two screens, I'm not going to share that right now because that's something I've been working on for a very, very long time, and I've put a lot of hours in, and that's why I'm going to use this as an opportunity to share live on my YouTube channel, for, you know, to obviously gain viewers, and through that views, you know, get some, you know, from YouTube to get some money back. So at this point, I'm not going to share this, the settings. And just because of the fact that it's something that gives me the edge, and yeah, it's something I've put a lot of effort in to get right, and it's working right now. And all you need is 20 points a day. 20 points a day, guys. I mean, you can scale that thing. I mean, if you want to do $100 a day, you can risk 100 to make 100. I mean, some days like this, you could have made more. And that is if you know where the liquidity is, and then you can make more. So this is something where you're going to wait. I mean, you don't have to come here and try this, try that. You come to the screen, you look for one very specific thing. If it's there, you take the trade and you walk away. If you try to trade in this section like we just did, I mean, there's nothing here that tells you you should take a long or a short. I mean, this is messy. That's why you stay out of it. Let's go to a 5 minute just to show you this works on all. Listen, I have tested this on a 1 minute to get the ratio right. This 5 minutes ratio is going to be different. In this case, there's your candle for the up. There's nothing down here, but this candle here crosses. And I mean, that was like a 2-point, if you were targeting those highs, what was that, 14 points. I mean, here's another one. Cross in one line, 20 points would be down here, and you would have been 30 something points. But if you were targeting this high here, that's 20 points, got your 20 points, you move on. Okay, does it work on an hourly? Yes, it does. And look at where we are in the hourly right now. This black candle, just before that little tiny candle, this black candle forced all of them through the midpoint. Blue is breaking through the bottom of that yellow block, and red is down. So where can we expect to go? We can expect to go lower. Then you go back to your 1 minute, and I mean, I don't like this is not an A+ setup here, so just be careful for that. All right, let's go back here. Let's see what's going on. All right, let's keep an eye out. Okay, let's see. Sorry, so every time I move between screens, I see the screen actually freezes. So let's see, maybe all this liquidity is gonna stay there for later, but let's see. Right, let's go to, just do 15 minutes. I just want to see where we are. Okay. Okay, so now we're moving into this fair value gap, and I'm expecting this fair value gap to hold price lower, and this is premium, and this is a swing high. We closed and we took a swing high out here, but if we want to go higher, yeah, it's going to be really a bit of a pain for me. But this high should be protected here because of these up candles. Big shift down, come up here, and now I want to see this high stay to go lower. Okay, let's do this, mark it out. See if it's going to respect it, or are we just going to screw around? Don't like to close above this fair value gap. It's telling me that we might want to go up there again. Look, if we go up, I mean, this is, you know, consolidation. I mean, here's another fair value gap here. So we want to see this get inverted. That's a protected high if we do. And I'll explain to you guys in a minute why. But we can just test and go higher as well to these equal highs up here. The reason I would deem that as a protected high, you see this up candles, all up candles, taking this swing high out, and in that little order block there, and then this big push down, taking all this liquidity and close below it. Close below this. These consecutive up candles that initiated that liquidity run. So in theory, that price should not break above that, and it can pull back into a fair value gap or a premium to sell off targeting this low. And that's where we are. I mean, we closed above that fair value gap, which is not ideal. That just tells you and shows you how sloppy price action is. And marking out this fair value gap, you want to see price close below that. But then you want price to close below these three candles here, and that will then protect this high for price to go lower. Then you can see price go lower, come back, and go down. Right, let's see. Ta-ra, ta-ra, ta-ra. Yeah, I think we're pretty much stuck in a range here. And I can tell you now, we most probably will get better price action tomorrow. This low has now been taken and closed in, so this price might just as well go up higher. Yeah. Okay, let's see if we can push down and close down there, then we might be. So one thing that you can make note of, just to be clear, when you see price consolidate like this, you'll see, just mark out the whole consolidation. When price goes out of that 75% of that range, it will go back to the midsection. If it goes to the upper end, it will come back if it wants to consolidate. Some people trade that, mark out the 75%, go there like, yeah, we got it, and back into the range. We haven't got that yet. So I'm not saying that's something to trade, but that's something to keep in mind if you're looking for trades. So it would make sense to take shorts up here and not so much a short down here. Because if it's consolidating and you're short here, we might see price reverse on you to go to the other 75% or 25% of the range. Just something to keep in mind. I mean, so far, this is good. Let's just hope it stays like that. But now I need this to close below here. We need this candle not to go back in and close there, because we're in that 75 minutes. Let's mark it out and see. That's 20% here. I don't have all the markings up, so, but you can see 50% is around here. Price has come back, price has come back, price has gone back, price, what do you want to do? That's what we want to gauge here. Where was it? 1 hour. All right, so 1 hour has come in here. We can expect price to go to this lows and maybe go even lower into these lows here, which is all liquidity, and then want to see if price want to go lower. We could see price take this low, and there's a fair value gap up here, and those equal highs are lining up with that fair value gap. So we could see a bump through this low and come back, run that, and maybe that's something that will happen tomorrow before we get the last drop, or PM. I mean, I don't know. Those are the scenarios that's currently sitting there. So, test of this IFEG. Hopefully it's just a test and not a complete reversal from here. Again, down, back, up, back. Let's see. See, exactly what I said, guys. I just want to mark this out to show you guys. So here's the 50% level, and here is let's do this. Let's put let's see. I guess you guys can see what I mean. We get close to this bottom end, back into the 50% range. And that's normally what consolidation does. That's also why I said this is IFEG. Doesn't make sense taking an IFEG short here because of the range. Once we're out of that range, that's a different story. Then you can look at it. Okay. Okay. Let me show you guys something quick. And Okay, let's look at this. Okay, so nothing here is aligned here, but it looks like there wants to be some sort of a push up higher. And the dotted line is below the 50%. This blue line, if it breaks above there, this was all together and this green we're going to cross over the red. Okay, then I think we were going to go up to these liquidity. Let's see. Back here. What's happening? Just see it. In a situation like this, guys, best thing is to sit tight and wait for liquidity to get run. Promise you there will be setups and try to chase something up to that point. Is again, we now at the top end of this consolidation. It might work to buy here, that it goes into those liquidity pools, but you don't know if it wants to reverse again, because what is it that consolidation do? They go low, they go high, establish a range, then it goes high, just missed it, back to 50%, push down, get close but go back to 50%, then come down, just missed it, and then go. Because what's happening here, people short here, put their stops there. Then we didn't break through it, come back and stop you out. Same here. Goes, break structure, people enter, put a stop here, go, boom, take you out. Here's the same thing. People shorted here in this fair value gap, didn't go there, put a stop here, boom, get stopped out. That's all it is. Your job, obviously, as a trader is to sit and be more clever to mitigate those risks. Right, so let's see. See what price does. Stops you out and then reverse again. People are like, and it's back at this 50, so it's working this area. Why would it work this area? So it can run and manipulate, and that's where consolidation comes in. What comes after consolidation? Manipulation. There's liquidity up here, so price manipulates in that. And then what? Expansion. Expansion's away from liquidity, and then it will go to the opposite targets. And let's go back here. We all know now. Let's maybe hide all of this. In a fair value gap, push in, push down. Remember we said we want to see push in, so in this 4 hour to push up before expanding. So you need to read that more closer. So if you go to your 15 minutes, so in your 15-minute here, you got liquidity that was run. So consolidation, manipulation, expansion. Consolidation, manipulation up, expansion lower. So if we take all the stuff off here, just to make it clean, you'll see it. So there's nothing beautiful about price here, but you need to, what you need to do is you need to take price and mark it out. If you see manipulation and expansion, now you got your first clue. There's a bunch of sideways small candles, and then you've got the market open, run the high. Remember, 3 candle high, there we go, into that little gap. And then what happened? It aggressively sell off, taking this and closing below this. Now, I know this has gone lower, but now it's stuck here. Now it's creating a consolidating run. Where's the next high? That high there. That is where liquidity resides. What's sitting there? Those equal highs. What's just above that? Equal highs in this bigger fair value gap. So we can expect, if we want to go lower, for price out of this consolidation to aggressively run up and force people to think we go higher, and then spike through that to go lower. Now, is that in line with premium? That's 50%, right at that equal highs. So anything above 50% is premium. There's another equal highs up here. All right, so that is deep premium. That is your ratio. If we get there and you go down to a 1 minute and see an inverted fair value gap or a smaller consolidation manipulation, you can expect a big expansion from here down to here. And that is how you should play with price and mark it out. Okay, so then you go back and look at that. Alrighty. We can't use this level anymore because we broke that high. Okay, so again, we're at the bottom end of this consolidation, guys. We want to see price come up here. See how we're inverting this in a million times. That is telling you price is not doing what it's supposed to do. So all you got to do now is just be patient. Ta-da, ta-da. Guys, let me know who made money so far today. I mean, in this price action, yeah, I'm not talking about earlier. So far, this was the entry and a nice short, but we're stuck here now, and I will not be surprised for us to see price turn and go higher again. Right, if there's any questions people can ask, but for now I think I've shared my views as to why I think we want to go manipulate higher before we go down. Let's see. Okay, so now we're running those lows. If this is going like a drop down, guys, I'm not going to chase it. It doesn't give me what I want, and I'm not always going to get what I want. Put it that way. Sometimes price is going to do what it wants to do. I've got a system where price has to consolidate, manipulate before it expand, and I promise you, if you stick with that principle, that's how you will make money. If you got it in line with your bigger or your higher time frame, then I mean you can't go wrong. I mean, you can't take a short here and expect price not to go up here. You gotta keep an eye on what price does to see if price want to take more liquidity, or does it stop here before it drops. I mean, people would say, hey, but Neil, there's fair value gaps here if we invert. Yes, so did we invert this one once, twice, 3, 4 times, and you would not have made money through that right there. Guys, the other thing what you must keep in mind, you must set yourself a target. If you got an account that you trade and you say, listen, I'm not allowed to lose more than 0.5%. If your target is 2%, I mean, I don't know what the percentage is with the prop firms these days. I think it's a 2% drawdown or something. If you say, all right, I can't lose 4%. Okay, well 2%. 2%, 0.5%, that's 4 days. If you get one unlucky day, limit your loss to 0.5%. Simple as that. I mean, people don't do it. I understand it because people hate being wrong or on the losing end. But you have to do it. I mean, if you got a bigger percentage, divided by 10. I mean, if you got a 2%, people will laugh at me, but if you got a 2% max drawdown, well, then only risk 0.2% per trade. Because if you write for 10 days, or you take a 2-to-1, take you 5 days to make 2%. If you need to make 6% to qualify, that's also fine. Remember, trading is not made for we all become millionaires today. The market's going to be there every minute of the day and after every minute of that minute. So you got ample time to make money. What you need to do is be clever about it. 1% of people would sit down and say, I don't care when I become the millionaire. All I need to do is manage my risk properly. If I manage it, the money will come. And put it this way, if you manage your risk to, I don't know, 0.5%, but you make 1% if you're right. I mean, you got to be right today to be, to win yourself 2 days. But if you chase to take down 2% in 1 day, well, you're going to have to work so much harder just to get that money back. And I get it, I know it, I've been there, done that. Everybody tells you that, and nobody follows that rule. But I promise you, if you're in this game long enough, and you try it once, it will make sense, and you will cut your losses very quickly, and you'll move on. And just so everybody knows, we took those 2 paper trades. I haven't taken any other trades in the meantime, because although we had inverted fair value gaps and this and that, it's still not, the conditions not ideal. If you really want to take a trade, if you're bearish, you want to take it above, in these, between these lines. If you're bullish, you want to take it below this low. Alrighty. Right, so basically what's happening now, it's 11 o'clock. I normally try to take my first trade and get it done with. I missed that window, which is fine. And I haven't taken any further trades. I'm not going to take another trade. I mean, I can sit around and watch this happens and play out, but what I'm going to do is give it another couple of minutes, then I'll probably end this stream. We can always stream again. What I'll do is I'll try to set up streams. I'm not going to stream every day because I'm focusing on my own trading, and but I will start streaming live, like I said. And but before I do that, I would need to make a video explaining this setup, all of this. So what you guys see here, there's look like a nice short. I mean, it would have given you your 20 points, all the lines through in the middle. Drawdown was like 2 points to get your 20 points. And that's all it is. Didn't line up with this bottom one, but that was a nice one there. We know there's liquidity up here, but even if you just targeted these lows from here, I mean, that's already 14, 15, 16, 17 points. That's all you got to do. Drawdown is, I mean, yeah, you can keep your stop as tight as you can. And as you could see, didn't have much to, you know, that went against you. But it is what it is, guys. I'm going to wait for price. I'm going to keep an eye on price. I think price might come. I mean, this is pretty sideways now. Might come later to test these highs, or maybe tomorrow, or maybe in PM session. I don't know. And yeah, so that's going to be me for today. Just keep an eye on my channel. I'll obviously notify people through that when I do live sessions again. And yeah, thanks for everybody who tuned in, and I hope you guys learned something and it's not that bad. I try to come to the live streams more. Unfortunately, price didn't play ball today, but it is what it is. I'll see you guys in the next live stream. Thanks for tuning in, and take care. Bye bye.